The road to Black Hollow was never on any map. Ethan realized this only after his phone lost signal and the GPS froze on a blank screen. Trees leaned inward on both sides of the narrow road, their branches tangled like fingers trying to grab the sky. The air felt heavier the deeper he drove, thick with the smell of wet soil and rot. He told himself it was just nerves. After all, the house at the end of the road was offering an absurdly cheap rent. A quiet place, the owner said, perfect for writers. Ethan was desperate for silence. The house appeared suddenly, as if it had grown out of the earth. It was old, too old, its wooden walls blackened with age, windows staring like blind eyes. The front door stood slightly open, creaking softly, though there was no wind. That should have been his first warning. Inside, the house smelled of dust and something faintly metallic. The floorboards groaned under his feet, not from weight, but as if responding to his presence. The rooms were mostly empty, yet the shadows felt crowded, pressed against the walls. That night, Ethan slept lightly. At exactly 3:17 a.m., he woke to the sound of breathing, not his own. It came from the walls, slow, deep, uneven, like lungs struggling to pull in air. He held his breath, listening, heart pounding. The sound stopped instantly. Silence returned, thick and watchful. The next morning, he noticed scratches on the inside of his bedroom door, long, curved marks, as if made by fingernails dragging from the other side. He laughed it off. By the third night, the dreams began. He dreamed of the house standing alone in a field of bones, faces pressed outward from the walls, mouths open in silent screams. When he woke, his sheets were damp, not with sweat, but with something cold and sticky. Blood. It wasn't his. Panic crept into his thoughts like a slow poison. He searched the house in daylight, opening every door. In the basement, he found something worse. The walls were moving, not visibly, but subtly, pulsing, swelling, relaxing, breathing. He staggered back, nausea rising. The air down there was warm and smelled like decay. In the center of the basement floor was a trapdoor he hadn't seen before, its edges darkened with old stains. Scratches surrounded it. That night, the breathing returned, louder now. It followed him through the house, moving behind the walls, above the ceiling, beneath the floor. At 3:17 a.m., the whispering started. Stay. The voice wasn't human. It sounded layered, as if many mouths spoke at once. Ethan tried to leave the next morning. His car wouldn't start. The road he had driven in on was gone, replaced by dense forest that hadn't been there before. The trees stood impossibly close, trunks twisted into unnatural shapes. When he touched one, it felt warm, like skin. The house didn't want him to leave. Hunger gnawed at him as the days blurred together. His phone showed the same date over and over. Night came faster each time. On the seventh night, the trapdoor opened. He heard it from upstairs, the slow creak, the wet sound of something unfolding. The breathing turned frantic, excited. Against every instinct, he went down. The darkness below the trapdoor wasn't empty. It was alive. A vast chamber stretched beneath the house, its walls made of flesh-like material, pulsing and twitching. Veins ran like roots across the surface. Embedded in the walls were people, men, women, children, half absorbed, eyes open, mouths frozen in terror. They were still alive. In the center of the chamber stood something massive and shapeless, a heart of shadows and bone, beating slowly. The house, it was not built around the thing. It was the thing. The whispers flooded his mind. You came willingly. We fed you dreams. Now feed us. Hands emerged from the walls, gripping his arms, his legs. Their touch burned. Faces leaned close, pleading without sound. Ethan screamed as the floor softened beneath him, pulling him down. The walls closed in, breathing faster, hotter. Pain exploded through his body as something pierced his chest, not sharp, but crushing, merging. His heartbeat slowed, syncing with the house's rhythm. His last thought wasn't fear, it was understanding. The house didn't kill, it kept. Months later, a young couple drove down a road that didn't appear on any map. They laughed when they saw the old house at the end, doors open, waiting. Inside, the walls breathed softly, and somewhere deep within them, Ethan opened his eyes, unable to scream, unable to die, listening for the next footsteps to enter his home.